Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is meteorologist Andrew Pinero with another car video. So, today is August 2nd. It's the beginning of the month. Usually what I do at the beginning of the month, some car maintenance. So, if you noticed from any of my social media accounts, under the hood, I added some nice paint jobs. I didn't finish. I got a couple other spots I want to paint. Let me put that up right here. Take that down now. Anyway, for today, a couple of things. I've noticed it's pretty dirty around the shift boot here, and I found out this comes off pretty easily. Shift knobs, if anybody's not familiar, these actually just unscrew. So this is where you can get a custom one. I'm looking at a couple a little bit heavier, a little bit better feel, so when you're shifting through the gears, it feels a little bit better. So, the first thing first, this is a screw, so this will just screw right off. It's got a good amount of weight to it. And then the second thing I saw, this trim piece just pops right up. And this is underneath the shifter here. So, can't see it from here. So I'm going to take a picture. There's underneath the shifter. Don't know if this just comes right out. But this allows me to get a little bit easier cleaning around it. Just to give you guys a little inside look here. So all of this is completely removed. I just put the shifter knob back on so I can actually shift it. And down here, that's all the shifting mechanism. Now for those that don't really know, this right here, it's a little shift blocker. For reverse, see how this piece moves up and over? Up and down, I should say. I can't get into reverse without pulling that. It's kind of a reverse lockout, so I have to pull up on this lever, which allows this piece to go over and down, and now that's reverse. Alright, so another couple of things I like to do on a monthly basis, besides now look at the beautiful blue paint. In terms of the paint, the back side of the air box, that's the next thing I want to paint, and the fuse box cover. Otherwise, I love the way the blue looks inside, matching the blue of the car. But a couple other things I will show you right now. So the first thing I like is the dipstick. Let me see if I can get really close in on there. Do you see that top dot? That's where the level should be. And I usually just like to wipe it first before I even look at the level. So, it's getting dark, but it should be. It's almost a year. This synthetic oil can last 6,000 miles, 7,000 miles, or a year. A year will be in October. This is the video I had with my first oil change. So within the next couple of months, I'll be changing the oil on this again. But for right now, the oil is fine, and level-wise, gotta check that here. Looks a little low. I'll check one more time. It's about halfway between the two dots, so I'm gonna add a little. Alright, so you don't really want to mix oils. I have royal purple in here right now. Where I went didn't have it, so I got Mobile 1. When you're first doing the oil change, you don't want to mix the oils. But if you're just topping off, if you have to, it's okay. Let that settle, and then check it again. Check the level again. Still a little low, need to add some more. There. It's not filled to the max, but it's just below, so that's pretty good. Also, you want to make sure all the crud is off the gaskets. Now, what's nice also with the Subarus, every fluid that needs to be filled, or possibly filled, has the yellow cap. So you saw the dipstick had a yellow tip, the engine oil fill, yellow, coolant, yellow, windshield wash, yellow, brake reservoir. And this all in this car, also the clutch master cylinder and the brake master cylinder share one reservoir. So that's very important to keep on top of the level. Another thing that's good to check is the radiator. Now, this you want to make sure the car is cool. This, if you open it when it's hot, you're going to get a geyser of 200-degree antifreeze in your face, and you will be losing skin, and it'll be very painful. So you don't want to open this when it's hot. Wait, make sure it's plenty of time for it to cool. What's good to have is one of these. This, you suck up a little bit of the antifreeze. You can see that little floating line right at the very top, so that's perfect. You also want to check the color. Make sure it's not like rust color. And be very careful with antifreeze if you have pets. It has a hopefully don't, because it's very deadly and can cause crystals to form in your kidneys. But it has a sweet taste to it, so pets will lick this up if it spills. And the very last thing I like to do is always check the tire pressure. So this, you will have to read the sidewall to make sure. I have a little one that you just keep pressed in. This shows 33 psi, which is perfectly fine. If you overinflate the tire, that's not good for the structural integrity of the tire. But technically, you may get a little bit better gas mileage. However, that's a bit debatable. I think the Mythbusters, if you search for that, did something on that the gain of miles per gallon with overinflated tires is not worth the risk. Underinflated tires, depends on the traction, may give you better traction off-road, but on-road doesn't do anything. Properly inflated tires, that's what you want.
And now, it's time for some epic exhaust sounds.